Welcome viewers across the world, fellow Biafrans and lovers of freedom. Once again, I'm this platform to bring you updates on what is happening in the contraption called Nigeria. Today, you know, is a day that they say they were going to protest for their bad government. Even when they know that the protest is not going to end the problem, and protest is never the solution. They have come again today to risk their life. I want to give you some updates on the videos that we gather from their so-called protests. What is going on out there? It is very important that we pay attention. We are not part of it. Biafrans are sitting at home. Biafrans are staying away from this nonsense they are doing, calling protests. Biafrans have made it clear that they will not be part of any street protests, and they are staying away. I want to share with you what is going on in the Zoological Republic. The videos that we came across on what is actually going on, I will share with you for you to get an update on what is happening. Some people have decided to come out to protest as they wanted. And finally, the police, with their hard-handedness, are going their own path. Let's watch and share as you watch.
Vocation from the protesters, but nothing of sort happened, and we started seeing, tear gas, dropping at the center of where the protesters are, and then with this choking fog, having a very serious impact on the eyes. Some persons were even, rushed out of the protest ground because they collapsed. They couldn't bear it.
That's sad.
It was really a tense situation at the 3 Arm Zone. And even as I speak to you, the protesters, they just retreated a bit, but they are saying they won't back down and their voices must be heard.
So where exactly are they now?
Well, the 3 Arm Zone, like you know, it's quite extensive.
Yes.
From the Ministry of Finance to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs to the head of service,
the appeal court
to the appeal court, and then to the entrance to the National Assembly. Because of the tear gas canisters that were, fired at protesters, they had to retreat. They pushed back. So at the moment, they are within the perimeter of the Ministry of Finance and, of course, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. That is where they are currently, trying to get themselves together. But they said they are not backing down.
They are not backing down. You interacted with a number of them. Apart from the former interviews we were having with them on live television, I'm sure some of them must have poured out their minds in one way or the other. What are they expecting with this protest? What are they expecting to get from this protest?
Well, I think the primary thing, and that has been the constant variable in everything that's happened in the previous days, is the fact that the prices of food items are skyrocketing. Most of the persons we talked to, most of the persons we had interactions with, observed that the staple foods, as it is known, gari particularly,
the
rice
usual
and
poor man's food.
Exactly, they can no longer afford them. You get, and someone was even saying that gari with 100 naira before, he said he came to Abuja in 2017. And in 2017, he said with 100 naira, he can buy gari, he can buy groundnut, he can buy sugar.
With 1,000 naira.
Exactly. But at the moment, to get gari, I think one mudu should be 1,500 naira or thereabout. So their concern is that basic things that citizens could afford, before, it's no longer possible for them to afford it. And then they can no longer keep quiet. Interestingly, like I said, during the course of the live crossing, we even had people who had come to protest on behalf of the government, who have come to dissuade people from protesting, coming out to say, they are hungry and all of that. So I find it very, very interesting, as it were, because people who are supposed to be, dissuading other people from protesting are now, taking the initiative.
No, but they said something, because I paid attention when you were talking to them. They said, yes, they are hungry, things are really bad, but the protest is not the solution, that they do not want anything to be destroyed. It's like what we have. Don't let's lose it in the name of protest. Let's still protect what we have while we push for more. And we can see quite some violent turnout. We just had the one of Kano. Imagine that kind of building, a reasonable answer to the technological need of the nation.
That's true.
That's been raised. In Maraba, we hear that cars are being burnt. Somebody even said, oh, somebody was, I don't want to just say since we've not been able to confirm, but things are certainly not looking good. I remember we drove out a while ago just to see if we could get fuel somewhere. And we saw people hanging all over the place, carrying leaves. Soldiers were chasing them. They were afraid of the soldiers, but they were not backing down. It was quite a surprise because usually they say when soldiers come out, protesters disappear.
Exactly.
They are not disappearing.
That's the situation also at the 3-Yam zone. We have almost all the security formations stationed at the 3-Yam zone.
I think we're seeing the tear gas, the bonfire. I can see the smoke of the tear gas. I can see bonfire. That should be about Maraba.
Yeah, that's the Abuja Kefi. That's the
Maraba axis.
Yeah. That's the Abuja Kefi highway. So it's kind of, it's something that one finds it difficult to explain because between the time we set out from the National Stadium and approaching the Eagles, where no one thought that something like that would happen.
So what would you say to the security forces in the light of what you witnessed?
Well, I'm sure that they have their rules of engagement cut out for them. And I'm also very sure that during the build-up to this protest, they've had reasons to engage with their superiors. And I'm sure they've been trained and they understand how to manage situations like this. But it's important for them to show some restraint, particularly as regards the attack, unprovoked attack, as many of the protesters described it. So I think for the rest of the hours of the day and maybe for the rest of the protest days, I think it's also important for their commanders and those that are in charge to also call them to order in terms of how they engage with these protesters.
Ebuka, you would also agree that it's a two-way thing. There was a court injunction restricting them to a particular place, and they felt that that was not enough. They needed to come out and air their voices. They have a right. The court also gave an injunction. Isn't it a bit confusing? I mean, tell me, what do you have to say?
Nobody needs to in implementing its orders as it were. The order was very clear. It said, publish this order in the National Daily. That's a way to serve the protest organizers. The question is, was that order published in the National Dailies as directed by the court? If it was not published, it means late. It means it was it means it was not even served on the protesters because the court was very clear. If you publish it, it will be deemed as being served on the protesters.
And papers had gone to bed by the time that injunction came out.
Okay. So it's what it is, but clearly from...
I think that the authorities should consider the fact that papers had gone to bed and that a lot of the protesters may not be aware of that order. I don't know. It's their job. They need to do their job. Let's have more visuals from the protests from different states.
Ubonam.
All right, so we have more for you as we bring you details of the protests, the end bad governance or hunger protests across the country. Right now we have a security analyst, Jonathan Onoja, and he would lend his voice to some of the analysis ongoing about this protest. Mr. Onoja, are you there? You have seen the violent dimension that the protest has taken in a lot of states, not just Abuja here, Rivers State. We saw some people lying on the floor. They say Kano is a no-go area right now. Almost all the state things are turning violent. Mr. Jonathan, what do you have to say about this?
All right. Good afternoon to you, my dear. I hope you can hear me over there. Can you hear me over there, please?
Okay,
Hello,
Mr. Naja, you need to sit back a bit so that your face can show very well. You need to sit back. Thank you.
Okay, great. Can you hear me?
You have the microphone now.
All right. Thank you so much. All right. As regards the violence, the situations around the protests for today, I think it was anticipated now, and this is one reason why some of us made a position here that the rules of as well was the however, can you hear me, please? Can you hear me back there? Can you hear me?
Naja, you still have the mic. We're listening to you.
All right, great. Thank you. Now, the protesters do not also understand what they call protest.
My name is Mr. Johnson.
All right.
Yes, we are here for a peaceful protest for our rights. This government does not care about us. They didn't even care about us. Boxers, boxers where we wear, we don't fit wear them again. Because Pampers cost, we don't fit buy Pampers for our children. Our wife, they put them rack, haba, they want kill us. We can't sit down anymore. A bag of rice is 80,000 naira, and our politicians are lavishing our monies. 21 billion naira for vice president house, $150. That's equivalent to 200 million naira for private jet. Which can contribute that? They don't care about us. They don't care about us. Now our ancestors, they rule us. Since where I don't grow, they say na leaders of tomorrow. Even my father said not to be leader of tomorrow. When we go lead, we have the capacity. We have everything to lead. We can't sit down. Price of rice, food has skyrocketed. It has skyrocketed. Please, it's just a peaceful protest. See ammunitions. That's it, they want kill us. Insecurity there everywhere. May they deploy them for Sambisas. May they deploy them for Kaduna. For where there are insecurities, not before here. Still gone. When they go war, we are armless civilians. We are just fighting for our right. After all, Mr. President, now he teach us how to protest. Mr. President, now he teach us how to protest. In 2012, January 2nd, 2012, they were the anchors of occupying Nigerians. Him and Buhari them. Now then, he teach us how to protest, and they are preventing us for some certain locations. Goodluck Jonathan allowed them to protest peacefully.
Yes.
They allowed them to protest peacefully. We they die with hunger. How much is your salary? You cannot sustain. You must be tea before you will survive for this country. They cause us to become tea by force. Because if you work for office, you go add some figures so that you go survive.
My fellow Biafrans, after watching this clip, I want you to be the judge for yourself. Go to the comment section and write on the comment section, tell me what you feel about this. I thank God for the Prime Minister, Mazi Simon, the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of Biafra. Biafran people are going to defend themselves. If it's going to take everyone out to defend Biafra, we will do that. Till the last man standing. May Chukwu Okike continue to guide our Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa. May Chukwu Okike continue to guide our Liberation Army. Biafra government, peace, progress, unity and equity. We move airborne. Thank you, as they say.